Oh my criminy, it's been 37 years since we have done any of this. Welcome back. We're going to simulate this game here. Oh, I've got some craziness going on so many levels. Wow, that was a crazy game. Put up a heck of a lot of runs. We're going to go ahead and watch the second game, and I will give you the details. So, hop into the watch game time. I've been dealing with a little error message on SMB3 that's been popping up literally now as I loaded the game. So we'll see if that sticks around or not. Who's locked in? Someone way down here. Headlights. Let's bop you up the order, shall we? Who else? We've got a lot of locked in members. Neutral. Everyone else is pretty good to go. And we have Jasmine on the mound in Korea. Got a bop of a game here. On the road. Oh, first of all, it has been 3 weeks now, I believe, since the last SMB3 episode. And, oof, where do I even start? Let's start by sending it out to the Tiger Den, I believe, and the Korea Crash, hoping for a win in Game 2. Not going to be commentating as much about the baseball in this one, so if you're looking for that, check out the last one in the series, 100%. That was the craziest episode that we have had up to this point. But I got to fill you guys in. It's been a time. So, can't tell by my voice, I'm still a little sick, and I have been sick, I kid you not, I would say 5 out of the last 7 days for almost 2 months, almost 3 months, like 2.5 months at this point, just colds and stomach stuff. And earlier this week I was homesick. I was like dizzy and like disoriented. I have no idea what that was. Perks of working in childcare, I guess. So that was a whole endeavor. I mean, that hasn't stopped. Feeling better today than I have in a little while, but not by much. So that's been a time. Other things going on, and there's a plenty. Ooh, did that get down out there? I think it did. I might be throwing the first one across here. Not quite, but we're close. Couple of locked in people. Oh, we do have a run on the board. Look at that. Oh, what is this now? 2 weeks ago, because it was our last pay period, I didn't get paid from work, and I was like, that's weird, what's that about? And I check my bank, my financial information fairly regularly, just to be vigilant and kind of be on the ball if something's not right. And my bank has a thing where as soon as the money gets put in, I get the money. So usually I end up actually getting paid a day early. I get paid on Thursday rather than on Friday. And so on that Thursday I didn't see the money, and I was like, all right, system error. People just maybe were a little late putting it in this week. It'll come on Friday. Didn't come on Friday. And about noon on Friday, I was like, all right, everyone else, including people that have the same bank as I do, had gotten paid from this job. So, 1-run lead going into the bottom half. Jasmine on the mound. Let's see how she does today. But, so I went and talked to our people at work, and they were like, yeah, just talk to your bank. It's probably something on your end. And I was like, I don't think it is, because I would have seen it pending at this point, and it wasn't. I called the bank, and they were like, yeah, we don't see anything. Gave them the exact amount of the check, and they were like, yeah, no, sorry. I was like, all right. Well, turns out what had happened is that towards the end of December, I was setting up a health savings account, which is the most adulty, terrible thing that one can do as an adult. And got it all set up. And what had happened is that someone had turned in my HSA as a new direct deposit, and so my entire paycheck got deposited into my HSA, which shouldn't even be allowed to happen, but it did. And nice, good inning for Jasmine, keeps the lead. And so they couldn't undo it because it had already been deposited, but I was able to work with that bank to write a check basically from me to my other bank where I, have my usual accounts, and get it deposited. So that was just, it was really stressful. I'm kind of a financial squirreler, so I had enough money to make it a pay period between paychecks and be okay to have food and have the things that I need. So I'm grateful for that, but it was stressful. It's a stressful time at my job. We with the holidays, and then we have our conferences for this part of the school year, which I think are the only ones, unless we I think there might be one more set towards the end of the year, graduation time for the kids, my preschoolers. But those are going on through the end of this week and into next week a little bit. And if that stays okay, this is just high, or maybe not. What happened? I have so many questions. How did that not get caught? Anyway, so that was a time, conferences and all that. It's just been really stressful. We've got some just issues with communication and being, the girlfriend and I were talking about this tonight. There's a difference between being positive and being realistic about things, and understanding that I thought maybe that was out. There's a difference between things being realistic and things being positive for no reason, and people at my job are just sometimes kind of negative, and they start stuff about other people, and it makes for a really exhausting workday, because the work that I do in the first place, especially while sick, it's exhausting and is a lot to handle, I don't know, emotionally and mentally, with the kids, and just trying to help them and stuff. But aside from that, and along with that, these other issues definitely don't help. And then, I'm almost done complaining, I promise. But as a music teacher at a preschool, I have developed a lot of my own curriculum. I have different playlists so I have 3 different groups of kids. I have infants, I have toddlers, and I have preschoolers. And for those who may not work with kids that are that young, infants are your little babby beans, 0 to a little over a year old. And for them, it's about music exposure for me. So, bringing in the guitar and playing for them. I have a hand pan. I have a video about that on the channel, actually. But I have a hand pan, and I bring that in. It's a big old drum that sits on the floor, and the babies bang around on it and make noises and think it's very fun to try to eat it. But that's really fun, and I bring in, the guitar, the ukulele, the drum. One week I have these Govee lights that go to music, and so I brought in the lights, and I put on some Christmas music for them, and they were like, whoa. So that was fun. Just things like that, just exposing them to different kinds of music. Some of them really like to dance, some of them like to try to come up and get my guitar. They're interested in what's making all that racket and how it works and what it is. And then so for the toddlers, for me, it's about a little bit of interaction. So things like singing, the Itsy Bitsy Spider and the Wheels on the Bus, and things where they can kind of get their hands and voices involved in singing the words that they might know, or at least kind of getting the tune down. And then a little bit of interactivity. And then aside from that, we do different kinds of instrument days. So I will bring in maracas. I will bring in the drum for them as well. We have done, what else? Next week we're going to make egg shakers with Easter eggs and rice. So they get to make their own little instruments. And then the week after that, we're going to have a little dance party with our shakers that we made. So I have lots of different kinds of lessons, and then for the preschoolers, working on things that are a little more complicated, trying to step into a little bit of what you might learn in kindergarten music. So we've talked a little bit about pitch and low notes and high notes, and we've talked about rhythm and, things like the ants go marching, where they have to try to keep the beat with their feet. Talked a little bit about rhyming words with Down by the Bay, and kind of silly things. Point being, I have put a lot of time into coming up with lessons and also knowing my kids enough to present different kinds of lessons for them. And last week, I think it was last week, or it was this week, because it's been a very long week. Either is entirely possible. I was essentially told that someone had complained that I wasn't doing very much with the kids, which really upset me because I have a lot of lesson planning time. I have about an hour and a half in the morning, and then time at the end of the day if I need it. I use that time most of the time to be, I look at YouTube videos of what people do in elementary ed music, and then I try to adapt some of those lessons. It also just takes me a while to do certain things with accessibility and trying to make sure I have a good system of organization for myself for all of these lessons and all these things. And then I make different kinds of playlists on my Spotify account for different activities. So I have a dance party playlist that just has all kinds of everything from classic rock and Disney and kids songs, and then some pop kind of stuff, maybe songs from movies that the kids might know. It's a very big, very varied playlist that we use for we'll get glow sticks out and have dance parties, that kind of stuff. And then I have a playlist for what they call music and movement. I just call it my directions playlist, so it's just songs that have different kinds of actions the kids listen to and follow, and so we'll do that in different ways. When it gets nice out, I would like to take that playlist and be able to do it outside with them. And so again, curating these playlists and searching Spotify and trying to find different bands that I don't like a lot of the traditional kids music. It just drives me nuts, the really traditional versions of certain songs that you just hear over and over if you work in childcare. So I like to find zany songs and silly stuff that the kids might find entertaining and engaging. So I'm always working on that. And then for holidays, I work on, I had a big Halloween playlist that I put together when we had our Halloween parade. We had a Halloween dance party. That was just as I was starting music, so that was kind of new, I suppose. And still one zip. Good pitcher's duel going on here. So anyway, all that to say that I put a lot of time and effort into my job and what I do. To be honest, sometimes I feel like I don't get paid enough for what I do. But I love my kids, and that's why I do it. And for someone to kind of say, well, someone complained that you're not doing enough, was really disheartening. And on top of coming to work sick, and I only take off when I'm really not doing okay, and I can't work. I can't afford to not work. But it's been a lot, and because of a lot of that, I get home and I'm tired. So YouTube has certainly taken a bit of a backseat over the last few weeks, and I hope that you guys can be understanding of that. And we'll get back to it 100%. I've got some things that I'd like to work on. I need to get back into pitching. I haven't been for a few weeks. We also had some car trouble, which left my girlfriend with various vehicles that we had to, swap between and just make kind of cobble together getting to work, and so we weren't able to do a lot of extra things, which is okay. It was just stressful. And I appreciate her for still making sure that I get to work and get food and get home and that kind of thing. And she's also going back to school, so it's just been a stressful time. And part of the reason I really wanted to hop back into making some content on baseball specifically is we're starting to get there. We're starting to get towards where pitchers and catchers are going to report within the next month to 6 weeks, and I think we are a little over 2 months now away from opening day, which I'm hoping to go to again this year with some of the same people I went with last year. We kind of want to make it a tradition. I had lofty ideas of trying to get out to Seattle to see the Mariners play on opening day, but that is not going to happen this year, which is all right. Stay home and watch the Twins. I think they open against the Astros, which I'm really looking forward to going to that. So we shall see. But some Super Mega Baseball, we're looking our way towards the end of our first season. This is, we've got this series, we have, I think, 1 or 2 after this as well, and then we wrap things up, and we will see how we stack up by the time we get there. We may or may not make the playoffs. But that leads me into the next thing I wanted to talk about today, which is how are you guys feeling about the series? I've seen that some of these videos do okay, and they get a good amount of views, and some of them do not, and that is okay. I make them because I enjoy this team, and I've enjoyed making them. But do you guys want to see this team continue? Do you want to see a new team altogether? Do you want to see something different? I've got some content for like MLB The Show we could do. There's a lot of different things that I could do. Is there other games you'd like to see me play aside from baseball? I'm happy to look into some other things. I played a little bit of GTA, I played a little Red Dead Redemption. I've played those on the channel before in my live streaming times, which we may be able to get back to, by the way. My internet appears to be a bit more stable now than it was when my streaming wasn't working very well. So that is appreciated. And what else is going on? I think you're caught up now. Just hoping to get back into the swing of it a little bit. Thinking baseball. I'm a Twins guy now, and I'm liking them this year. I'm liking them. I'm an enthusiast for baseball, and that comes in the form of me being a fan of a few different teams. In terms of the MLB, the Minnesota Twins and their AAA affiliate, the St. Paul Saints, are probably my two favorites currently. And then I'll always have a bit of a spot for the Milwaukee Brewers, but I have not at all been following them. Speaking of following, follow that baseball way out of here. Wow. That thing was demolished. Take a look at the details here. I think that was us. To be honest, I can't tell. No. Let's see. Who's the pitching? Yeah, that's certainly them, and we are now up by 2 more, so... Alright, we'll take that. Sorry I'm not as excited about the ball today. I don't have the vision to work on that today. Yeah, so MLB, Minnesota Twins, and the St. Paul Saints, and then locally, I like the Rochester Honkers are a collegiate summer league team that are a lot of fun to watch. I've worked for them for the last couple of years. I don't know that that's going to happen this year, but for Christmas, my girlfriend got me a ticket package, so I can go to a few games of theirs, and I will honestly probably go to a fair few more than the ticket package allows. I will buy some tickets as well, but I'm looking forward to that. They're fun. It's lighthearted. It's just sitting. You get wood bats, so can't beat sitting and listening to that and watching a game on a good summer night. So I'm looking forward to that. In the process, stolen base. Wow, that doesn't happen. I'm in the process of working on a couple things. So, number one, the place that I pitch, D-Bat, if you saw my last pitching update, I talked about them. If you did not, go check that out. D-Bat, the guy who owns it, is willing to give me a cage, or time at a cage, rather, so that I can bring some of my kiddos out to play baseball. So, one night, I want to work on getting a few things together for them so that I can host like a, come try baseball night, and we'll throw baseball around and play catch, and just kind of have some fun, lighthearted, pre-baseball interaction with the kids. So that's something that I am very much looking forward to. Along the same vein, same guy who owns the cage, the facility rather, that I pitch at, plays for a local town ball team, and I had reached out to them because I saw an ad on Facebook that they're looking for players for this season, and it's available to 25 and over, which I am, barely. I think it's 25 and over, it might be 21, but and I reached out to them not knowing that there was a connection. I said, well, I'm a blind guy, I'm learning to pitch, I don't know that I can, play, but could I come, throw some bullpens and kind of hang around people who play and just be around to see if that's something I might be interested in. And they replied back and said, well, the person who manages the team in Rochester is somebody that you know. And it was crazy because I really didn't think that I, had a connection or knew anybody, because I knew he played, the owner. I knew he played for like a town ball team. I didn't realize he was managing one of them. So that's really cool. And I'm hoping that on Sunday, I need to call tomorrow, because it's Thursday night as I'm recording this. But I need to call tomorrow and schedule a lesson for Sunday. But I am hoping that he and I can touch base, and maybe I can do something with the team here in Rochester. I think they're called the Rampage. So looking forward to another way to possibly be involved around baseball, and then at the cages as well as we get into the spring and the summer. I'm hoping to work with kids again and do some of the camps, even if it's just volunteering to work with them, teaching some fundamental skills, and kind of dipping my water into coaching a little bit, because I love working with young kids, and I would one day like to run a camp that I am in my brain calling pre-ball. So things to know before you play t-ball. What is a baseball? Do you eat it? Answer is not usually. Just teaching the kids a little bit about, hey, let's learn the names of the bases, and where are they, and how fast can we run to get there, and, playing some games around some of those skills, running and, throwing and catching, and things that will get the kids excited and, like, amped up about baseball, and then they can transition from there into like a harder t-ball program with someone who can give more visual feedback than I would be able to as someone with a visual impairment. But looking forward to all of those things. Moving on in a hurry into the 6th inning, up by a trifecta of runs. Love to see that. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been as evidenced by the first 5 innings of my ramblings. It's been a crazy little while here, and I'm sorry that some of these baseball videos now become life updates, but I think this beats watching a talking head, does it not? If it does not, I'm sorry, and I will put up more talking head content, I'm sure. On a related note, how you guys liking the logo? I'm so stoked about it. It looks really nice, and I feel so bad because I got really stoked. I did the video about the logo, and then I did another baseball video. I want to work on putting a new intro for the channel together. That will come at some point. I do not know when, but that'll happen. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Oh, criminy. Oof, icky walk. I'm behind, and they're scared of her, so they're putting in a new arm here. A lot of traits active all of a sudden. Scary stuff. Yeah, but what do you guys think of the logo? What do you guys think of where we're at with the channel? What do you want to see? What's your favorite part of the channel so far? I really like the baseball cover I just put up of center field. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of a little all over the place lately. But that's how it goes sometimes, right? But if you're a baseball fan, what are you most looking forward to about this season? Be it someone on your favorite team? Are you planning any trips related to baseball? I am hoping, this is not in the planning stages, I'm hoping to get to Wisconsin this summer to take in a Milwaukee Brewers game, hopefully with a friend or two, and I would really like to be able to get back to Miller Park again, and I'm not calling it by the other name because I don't want to. I never will. So, yeah, other baseball stuff. That's kind of it. I'm hoping this year, my goal is get to a few more Twins games. It doesn't have to be a religious, crazy thing, but I'd like to maybe hit the beginning, the middle, and the end of summer with a Twins game. Opening day, of course, and then maybe one in, May, June, somewhere in there. There is one I would really like to get to, Joe Ryan bobblehead day. I'm a big Joe Ryan guy. He has wicked awesome hair and is also a great starter for the Twins, so I am a fan. hoping to make it and get a Joe Ryan bobblehead. That's about it for promotions. The Twins are doing one this year where you can get a free light bulb because reasons, I guess. I have no idea, man. Other than that, I'm a big Saints guy. I like the Saints a lot. Those games are so much fun, so I'm hoping to make it to a few of those as well. Maybe even on the same weekends, you know, hit a Twins game on a Friday or Saturday, hit a Saints game on a Sunday, something like that. So, we'll see. I like the Saints. I think that they are the most fun that I've, like, had at a ball game, just in terms of, like, crowd involvement and stadium atmosphere. If you ever go to CHS Field, get the mini donuts. Don't ask questions. Just do it. They're amazing. Also, check out the museum that they have about baseball in St. Paul, and how it has both destroyed and also helped to try to revive the city and the neighborhoods where the ballparks are, and the history of the teams there. And I have a huge fascination with, and I don't want to say the smaller aspects of baseball history, but the things that kind of get overlooked like that, when they build stadiums in a neighborhood, and then, you know, maybe they try to kind of revitalize that area, and kind of, you can never make up for, like, bulldozing people's homes, but trying to bring back a sense of community, and I don't know, it's fascinating to me because it parallels American history, and baseball. Wherever you look at American history, baseball will be there in some form, and sometimes baseball was ahead of the rest of the country, and sometimes it was woefully behind the rest of the country, and it's just always been there, and that's something that I just find incredibly fascinating, and sad, and hopeful, and all of those things. And I think that's where part of my love for the game comes from, and then a lot of the other of it for me is just how lifelike baseball is, and I mean that in a very abstractish sense. You know, there can be these crazy, like, great games where everything, like, you can't believe you got to witness something special, and then there's the games you just get absolutely wrecked, and no one's doing anything right, and it just feels like a great metaphor for, like, how we live as people. To the 7th we go. They've gained a run. Close game for this game 2 here in Korea. But yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I could go on for hours about baseball, but it's my favorite thing, next to plants and music and good people. But I don't know. There's so much about it that kind of parallels so many things, and every year you start over. That's something else, and that's true of any sport, of course. But baseball, you know, it coincides with the spring and things growing again, which when you live in the Midwest is... You can't understate the importance of, like, that first day where you can sit in the stands at a ballpark without your jacket and just soak in a game after 6 months of being frozen. I don't know, it's special. It's special. And speaking of special, I'm hoping we get some big news about Super Mega Baseball 4 soon, because originally I believe the verbiage going around the internets was something along the lines of spring of 23, which we are approaching, as the wild errant throw may have just gotten us another run. Not quite, but everyone's safe. But yeah, so I'm hoping we might get some news about that. There's just the beginning, you know when you turn on a faucet and it drips? That's what we're getting for MLB 23. Just, there was a picture shared out and some live stream stuff getting going. If I can get a PS5 at some point, I might get it. And unless there are some really compelling things about, like, commentary and presentation and accessibility or things like that, probably not going to buy 23 right away. I said that about 22, and then I did it because I wanted the new voices, and it was worth it for a week. I still really enjoy it. I still actually am playing a couple different franchise modes, things like that. But Yeah, we'll see about 23. Super Mega Baseball 4, though. It's going to be a good time. Now, did we scratch that across in time? We did not. Bottom of the 7th, we shall go then. But if you're a gamer, what are you looking forward to? Let's see. Pretend friend in at catcher. Ella pitching for us. Ella, come on. Here you go. Come on now. She filled the count and didn't follow through. Big Elevator fan. Big Elevator fan. We got, I think Ella is someone I want to keep if we do a season 2. I think Charlie Angels. If you haven't seen our last part of this series, go check that out and you'll understand why I want to keep Charlie Angels. Who else is on that list for me? I would see beginning of the season. I would have said people like Behind. I would have said people like Math Books, but they've fallen off quite a margin over the spell here. There's a strikeout for Ella. Booyah. Now I can get excited. All right, now who we got? Buzz off. Bringing in the Velo City. V-E-L-O City. There it is. Ooh, that's going to be trouble. Oh, no, it's not. Couple outs there. All right. Oh, I'm yawning again. I'm sorry. Whew. Uh-oh. Pop up, foul. And we're out of danger, looks like. No runs across, and we move to the 8th late stages of this one. Hope you are enjoying, despite the insanity and the rambling. Some good baseball. Good game here. Pitchers duel as we look to the top half of the 8th. Playing decently today. Not like that. What was that last game? Like 14-6 or some nonsense? It's insanity. Ooh, that's going to get fair, isn't it? Probably good for 2. Yep, looks like it. Alright, B. Skip running. Get after it here. And she will do just that. Alright. Switch modes into my hype mode here. Alright, come on now. There's no way. I think it might just be. Trying. She's dialed. She's like, I'm ready. Don't you throw at me at second. Get through, get through. Get on in there. Load them up. Load them up. Oh, you square. Alright, well, it's not going to do us a lot of good, but here's Hazel. She's trying as well. I love that you hear the sounds of it like hitting a chain link fence. Is there actually chain link fencing in the parks? That's funny. I like that. Oh, and there she goes, and there we go. A couple outs now. We have 13. Is that Silly Bobbles? What the heck is that? Well, whoever it is, doesn't matter. Just got a hit. 13 doesn't ring a bell, though. That's my issue. Oh, I think we got one. Some insurance. And we did. 4-1. Still, you don't want to start sitting on a 4-1 lead in almost any situation, you know? I think 4 runs and up, you feel a little bit more like you are, say, in control, but you're stable, you know? Because it takes a mess to give up 5, you know? Giving up 4, I don't know. I'd say a 4-run lead is the smallest amount I would ever possibly feel comfortable with. Bottom of the 8th we go. See if the bullpen can hold us, and does that mean we stick with Miss Ella, or do we outsource here? Or no, Buzz. I forgot we sent Miss Ella away. Every once in a while, I think of names of players, like good puns for names, and what I need to start doing is writing them down. Which, by the way, I'm going to make this plug again, just in case. If you would like to be a player, if you have an idea for the name of a player, or if you have any feedback on the team, please feel free to leave it in the comments, because I will add you 100%. We'll throw you right in. We'll trade for someone else. You could, I will say that Charlie Angels is not renameable, and I will say that Elevator is not renameable. Who else am I attached to? That's about it. Everybody else, if you would like a certain position, let me know. We could probably do that. Oh, that was terrifying. A wicked pickoff attempt there. Come on, Buzz. Nope. Alright. Ooh. She's got a wit like that. Looks like it hurts. Look at that wicked wind-up. Bam! Foul. Get out of here with your silly foul ball. Stop you running. We walked you anyway. Sorry, Buzz. Alright, get someone else in here. No, you're a keeper? Oh, I don't think I would. I think I'd bring in Ditto? No, maybe not. No. Foul ball, he says. Alright, we'll take that. We'll take that. Send it to the ninth. Up by 3 runes. Alright, Pop Rocks in there in the right field. Not a big fan of the Crash's weird uniforms. I don't know what I was thinking, man. Sorry. Also, I only realized this, what are we, like 15 parts into this series at this point? Maybe. I'm probably gonna get that number wrong, but I forgot to add a team into this league when I created it. There was supposed to be a team located at the Lafayette Corner Stadium, and they were going to be the Louisiana Fire. And they were, I believe, going to be in the Eastern Division, which would have made them a team of gals to go with the others in that division, who, if you can't tell by now, the CPU has like messed all my teams up, so we are the only team who has remained faithful to my initial rule set for the Eastern being the Women's Division and the Western being the Means Division. So, that is no longer the case, and that is okay. I will probably stick to it for the purposes of the lore of the team. That's trouble. Oh, caught to send us to the bottom of the ninth, up by 3. Do we leave in Buzz? Do we pull in the iconic laundry facilities? What do we do? What do we do? We leave her in. Buzz. 3-run lead to work with. Starting off with a strike. I'm not looking at names, but there's an 0-2 count. Come on, Buzz. Almost a 3-pitch strikeout. Not quite. We'll take 1 in 6. Come on. Nice. There it is. Breaks the bat. Little upsetty spaghetti, if I do say so myself. I like the white helmets that don't go with the uniform at all. I'm sorry, this team's a train wreck, man. It's alright. It's how she goes. Sometimes you mess up an entire team. Come on, Buzz. Ooh, stay alive. Are you a fighter? Oh, fair ball down the left field line. Probably going to be good for 2 bases. And it will. Alright. And here is the one and the only. Now, I've told this story before, but I shall tell it again. When I was in college, I lived in a dorm called Starin. And the laundry facilities of Starin were apparently being utilized by other people, because there was a sign that said laundry facilities are for staring residents only. And somebody who, for the purposes of legalness, who shall remain nameless, may or may not have put this sign on a dishwasher. And for some reason, that was hilarious. Will always be hilarious. Thus, I had to name a picture in honor of this person, who was not me, by the way. I was not clever enough to think of that idea. But Laundry Facilities lives on in the legend who just earned us a save, as I will now stop telling silly stories and give you a look at the numbers. There you go. We'll get you the big old batch of numbers for both teams, and the little old batch of numbers for both clubs. How about those MVPs, though, tonight? Headlights went 1 for 2. This was a quick one. 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases. That's impressive. Jasmine went 5 2/3. Gave up 6 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks. Not bad. Not bad. And behind, 3 for 4 tonight with a homer, a double, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. What a night for B. I know it's been quite a while since we've done one of these. I apologize. We will play one of these next ball games here in the next episode of this. We'll go ahead and see where this lands us as we simulate the CPU ball games here. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. I'm glad we're back. And let me know what you want to see next, whether that's from Super Mega Baseball, whether that is from something else entirely. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling. And hopefully, see you guys sooner than a fortnight from now. But thanks for checking this one out. Again, if you have any ideas, thoughts, queries, comments, concerns, questions, inquiries, I don't know, anything, throw them in those comments down yonder. Like and subscribe if you wanna. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.